one, but not right now. At this time, when you're proving the relationship with your sibling, you just need one application for her, and you have to list out her husband and her dependents on it.
Okay, and what about, can we do this for the parents also? Like we apply for the father and then for the mother?
No, because you have what the law considers here is a direct relationship that you have. That is a blood relationship with that person or not. So if you have a direct blood relationship with that person, then you have to sponsor them separately. That's the reason behind not including dependents on each other. That's why I clarified the first time. For both your parents, you need 2 separate applications.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right? All the best to you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Good morning. You're live on the air. Your question, please.
Hi, I'm right now on H-1B, and I just...
Relationship that you have, that is a blood relationship with that person or not. So if you have a direct blood relationship with
H-1B, and I just switched employers, so for my new employer, I do have the approved I-797. There is also an H-1B amendment which is pending for the change of start date for this new employer. Now my question is, if I travel back to my home country and come back into the U.S., can I come back with that pending H-1B amendment? Now, I do have the approved I-797 for the same company, but also the pending amendment.
So you do have a visa stamped on your passport to allow you to enter. You don't have to go visa stamping?
I do have a visa stamping from last year from my previous company.
Yeah, okay. So, you can come in based on the current approval that you have, but you can't show them a receipt notice when you come in. My suggestion for anyone that is about to travel is premium process your case, get it approved, come in with that latest location so that CBP at the port of entry has no trouble when you are entering, say, for example, Dallas, and your project is listed in Chicago. All right? Because they do have the right to exclude.
So my amendment is not because of change of location, but it's because of change of start date.
So it's been pushed out?
Yes, it was. So my original I-797 has a start date of June 29, but my actual start date was August 16. So then they planned on doing the H-1B amendment.
Yeah, even in a case like this, I always do recommend the employer to go through premium processing, because your amendment would not even come through for you to start on August 29th. Right? Basically, it's not the filing. Say, for example, the government is running behind others to enter the country. It has to be the one that's approved.
The one that's approved. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But again, I'll have to clarify the advice. Get it premium process. Don't cause issues for yourself when you're traveling, because CBP does have a right to ask you, and you cannot start working on the 29th of August because you don't have an approval to start working on the 29th. Your approval made you start working even earlier. All right? All the best.
And do I need stamping this time, since I already have stamping from last year?
No. The old stamp will work with a new approval notice.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
All the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for calling, Phanisha. Good morning. You're live on the air. Your question, please.
My question is for Colby. Hey, Colby. Morning.
Good morning.
I'm actually here on a fiancé visa, and actually my fiancé, she is on probation period from her work, and she is in Mexico. And I will be reaching out to my 90 days period, I think on the 3rd of September, but she cannot return to the country on the 17th till 17th of September. So in that case, if I miss my 90 days, can I renew or extend my A1 visa? Or if I apply after 90 days, will there be any kind of problem there?
So here is the quick question I have. You did get married within the 90 days though, right?
No, it's just a fiancé. Like the day I came, like she was in Mexico because of she accepted a new position and she had to leave.
All right.
The contract she signed.
Yeah, that would create difficulty. I'm trying to see if I can give you a way out of this, and except for pleading with the government on being excused for the late filing, I'm not sure if there is any way out here for right now. You have to, the obligation is to get married within the 90 days. So I know that though she's on a project, maybe a weekend travel back here for you to for y'all to get married, and then for you to apply here. So the application that you make is your adjustment of status. So she's not required to be here for filing the adjustment of status. However, to get married, even if it is arranged outside, and you can make that trip abroad if you have a visa to travel to Mexico, I would advise doing that as opposed to later on making this a hardship for you to be able to argue for that excuse.
Okay. So let's say if she comes here on a weekend. I mean, I'm not sure.
You can get married, and then all you all have to get is a marriage certificate as well as the pictures and everything together, and then she may leave because the obligation to file is an adjustment of status, which is for yourself, and she doesn't have to be here for that.
So last question, like let's say if she comes and if we decide to do a court marriage, is there any court open on the weekend?
No. So, but you can get somebody to take a license and marry you in a civil ceremony. So there are different options to get married, and even if it is that you were to do a quiet wedding in a religious place, they can register it later.
Oh, okay. So all I need to, okay.
Yeah, so the obligation is to get married within the 90 days. The obligation is for you to be here and to be able to file your 485. That is the requirement. The rest of it, in terms of handling it and the fallout, will be pretty tough for you to be able to get out of. All right?
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for calling, Phanisha. Well, अगर कॉल के बाद आप मिस पल्लवी जी से कंसल्ट करना चाहते हैं तो you are welcome to call her and 972-361-0606 and the office manager would be able to help you from there. Good morning. You're live on the air. Your question, please.
Hi, I just completed 5 years last month on green card. I'm ready to apply for citizenship, but I am out of the country for almost 90 days in last 5 years if I add all my India trips. Is that okay to apply now, or does it have any impact?
No. So it was not last 90 days that you were out. You were out only in an aggregate amount of 90 days, correct? Is that what I understand?
That is correct. In last 5 years, if I add 15 days, 30 days, yeah.
No issue. You're required to have a physical presence of 30 months out of the 60 past months. And if you have just 90 days, you're just fine. No issues here.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
All the best.
Thank you, sir. Good morning. Good morning. You're live on the air. Your question for Miss Pallavi, please.
Pallavi ji, first of all, I want to congratulate you. What a beautiful voice you have got. You are so experienced, and every time you come, I love to listen to you, and I think you are a credit to our community, and you are so knowledgeable. But I think I have a wonderful feeling for you when I will come and answer all these questions. I have a small question. One of my senior citizen lady, she's a Canadian. If she comes to here in America, for how long maximum she can stay? She's an elderly person, but she's not come to live here. She just wants to spend some time with here,
She's allowed to come here, so she's a Canadian citizen, right?
Canadian citizen.
Yes. Yeah, so she's given 6 months, 180 days to come in here.
Maximum?
Yes.
I see. Okay, thank you. May God bless you. I always
thank you, Ji. Thank you, very kind. Thank you.
Enjoy very much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for your call, sir. Yes, Pallavi, I agree with this caller that when you come on the air, you're very knowledgeable and you are doing a great job for our community, especially taking time from your busy schedule. So what are the updates? Let's talk about some updates now. So what is this week happening that you would like to know?
So at this point, we don't have any major updates except to say the provisional waiver. So this is for the people that are in the country that have been here illegally, but now they have a family member that is willing to sponsor them. So they had an entry that was unlawful, and so the provisional waivers that were being allowed only for spouses of U.S. citizens is now extended to different other categories, and it will also cover employment-based cases where there are adjustments pending and there's a family member who's fallen out of status. So the government is giving that chance. Now, it's the 29th of August when this rule will take effect, but we're seeing that the government has already started to issue RFEs for the cases where they think that there may be an argument for provisional waivers, which are stateside, which means that you argue the provisional waiver of extreme hardship inside the country, and then you go abroad for your visa stamping. So that's the latest, which is coming up on the 29th of August. That's a big one because now it's a little bit more inclusive as opposed to just being exclusive to spouses of U.S. citizens. And the other thing I think we have to keep out an eye, and that's going to happen maybe in a few more weeks for the October visa bulletin to see if there's any relief or reprieve for a lot of people that have been waiting, because the September visa bulletin for EB2 category for India or EB3 did not bode well, and actually even for the other categories for the rest of the world also, it had slipped to February 1st of 2014 as opposed to being current in the EB2 category. So there are a few changes that we're expecting in October for as of right now, and the September visa bulletin is not too good.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. Let me remind our listeners that you are tuned to Your Business Matters with Pallavi Ahluwalia from Ahluwalia Law Offices, and she's with us Wednesdays, and she can answer your question live on air. If you have any question right now, you're welcome to call me, 972-235-5555. You can also consult them after the show, and the office number is 972-361-0606, and you can visit their website, yourdesilawyer.com, and they can assist you in the matter of immigration law, family law, and corporate law. And once again, phone number 972-361-0606 is the office number, and the studio number 972-235-5555. Well, Pallavi, thank you so much for coming on air, and
thank you, Indu. Appreciate you hosting me so well, and thank you.
Hold on, there's one question. Shall we take one call quickly?
Yes.
Somebody just called. Hey, good morning, live on the air. Your quick question, please.
My quick question is, I'm a U.S. citizen and I wanted to apply my mother. She's visiting me in the U.S. But the question is, I don't have my birth certificate. Is there any kind of affidavit, because they did not register? I didn't know what was, when we were born.
So the only
was
thing that you can do in lieu of the birth certificate would be you have to have a non-availability certificate, plus you have to have secondary pieces of evidence. Now, in the case of a mom, I don't know if where you went to high school, but the high school certificate does list dad. So if dad and mom have a marriage certificate and dad is listed on your high school certificate, that would be one form of the secondary evidence. The other one is in an argument telling the government that they can do a DNA test and that would prove that she's your mother. But of course, you can't just go with an affidavit because that would lead to a denial.
Okay, so my school certificate will work?
Yeah, you'll start with a certificate of non-availability, and then you'll build up your secondary evidence.
Okay, all right. And after 3 months, we can apply her, right?
After 3 months of her entry here on a B1, yes.
Yes, okay. All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Pallavi, we're just about to go to break shortly. Is it okay if you just come back after the break, or just hang on for another 10-15 minutes, because we are having lots of calls?
Of course.
Okay, we have about 30 seconds left to the break. Let me remind everybody who's listening to us or just joined us right now, you are tuned to Your Business Matters with Pallavi Ahluwalia from Ahluwalia Law Offices, and she's going to be with us after the break for another 10-15 minutes. If you have any question, you're welcome to call me. Studio number 972-235-5555, and if you would like to consult them anytime after the show, their phone number is 972-361-0606. And they can, of course, help you in the immigration law, family law, or corporate law. I will be right back after the show break, and I'm sure Pallavi ji is going to stay with us as well. Thank you for tuning into Furniture Radio 104.9 FM. Thank you for tuning into Furniture Radio 104.9 FM, bringing the community together since 2002. I'm your host, Indu, and I have Miss Pallavi Ahluwalia from Ahluwalia Law Offices with us now. So, hey, good morning, Pallavi. Are you still with us? Hello, good morning. Pallavi, are you still with us?
Yeah, hi, good morning. I have a question to Miss Pallavi Ahluwalia.
Yes, please, go ahead.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I have 3 days of overlapping employment. I'm a H1 candidate, and my current employer is about to file my green card. And when I provided them my employment dates, so legal advisors came back saying that now there is an issue because there are 3 days of overlapping employment with my current employer and with my previous employer.
Okay, so what we have to now decide is what was the last day you were actually working for your previous employer till. Okay, not when they withdrew it, but till what day were you really working. So if you had 2 open cases or you had 2 approved cases and you were working only for one of them, then that's where you were working.
No, actually, I worked for my previous employer, let's say, till today. But then I joined my current employer 2 days ago. So there are 3 days of overlapping days. I work for both basically on papers as per W2
That's the reason I'm asking you the question, where did you actually work? So I know on paper what you're saying, but tell me, where did you actually work? For employer 1 or 2?
Yeah, actually I worked with my current employer.
Okay.
But
so then you have to... Yeah, but then you have to end that employer. Go ahead.
So
then you have to be able to, if you started to work for the second employer and their case was timely filed, and that is the receipt date that you have that allowed you to port to the second employer, then you would end your first employment when you had actually left. So that's what you would put on the form.
Yeah, Ms. Talvi, like now, issue here is like... When I went back to my previous employer saying that I need an experience letter showing 2 days early of my release. So they are saying like they have settled their account, they have withdrawn my H1, saying that my last day was what I provided earlier.
Okay. So in this case, you also have to understand this would not be such a big deal because here it is giving you only 3 days of an overlap. This is not amounting to the 180 days, which is the most dreaded number in maintaining status. So if it is that employer 1 does not want to give you the previous date when you had left and it is overlapping, then let it be. Let it overlap, let it be there. And now when you're writing the perm out, then still put the date that you actually departed that first employer. Put that as your end date. Let there be a slight conflict on the letter of employment and justify that if asked a question. What I want you to do is when go ahead.
Yeah, actually, the legal advisor, legal person of my current company, they are saying when they will start my firm, they are almost about to start, and they are saying because now there are overlapping dates, if they are filed with online system won't accept it. That's a challenge for me.
Yeah, so that's why I said in the perm, you have to list the date that you departed. Okay.
Departed means the day I joined.
The day that you left. That you left and you had joined the second employer. So add that, let the employment verification letter have a conflict, and that's an overlap. And if you're asked a question, there is an RFE at the stage of the I-140, it can be explained.
Oh, okay. Got it.
All right?
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning, live on the air. Sorry, call me, please, 972-235-5555. Sorry. Hello, good morning. Good morning, you live on the air.
Hi.
Just hold, can you...
Pallavi Ahluwalia, please?
Yes, just hold on a second. Can you just hold on a second, please?
Yeah.
Good morning, live on the air.
Yeah, good morning, madam. How are you?
I'm good. Would you like to talk to Miss Pallavi? Can you hold on a second, please? Good morning, live on the air.
Yes, it's me, Indu.
Okay, Pallavi, just hold on. Let me see if I can get it right this time.
All right, Indu.
Okay. Okay, 972-235-5555 is the studio number. If you have a question for Miss Pallavi, please. But I think somehow the phone lines was cut off, and then our callers, I've just lost them somehow. So let's see if anybody calls. But in the meantime, do you have anything...
Yeah, we're going to have to wait for updates till the government comes up with an update. At this time, there are no updates, and if we get a few calls and you want to pass them to me, that's great. If not, then I look forward to being back next Wednesday.
Okay, so let's do that. Excuse me. Let me give the phone number, your office number, to my listeners, and I'm sure they will contact you somehow. We could not this morning. The lines were a bit messed up. So the telephone number for Pallavi G is 972-361-0606. That's 972-361-0606. And you're welcome to visit them.
Indu, one more quick thing. The recordings of our shows are on the website, aluwalialaw.com. And just because the spelling sometimes can be challenging for Aluwalia, we have something a little more memorable, which is yourdestilawyer.com. And if you go on there, go on to live recordings of the radio show, then you can go ahead and listen to yourself and get the clarification on the questions. If it wasn't very clear, you can do that by the end of the evening today or even tomorrow morning.
Excellent. I look forward to see. Well, not me. I think me too will be back next week. And thank you so much, Pallavi, coming on the air and giving us community.
And look forward to being back next Wednesday. We'll miss you for sure.
Thank you.
Hosting us, and look forward to meeting you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Have a great day.